Hey guys, I am going to just share a little bit of a reading that I was doing here with you. And I was just looking at that picture of Trump more closely and listening to some, in particularly, there's a doctor online that I have respect for, um, at least his opinion. So I posted it in the community section in case you want to watch it. And he's talking about Trump's appearance, the face, and stuff. So, what I did was threw some cards here with the Albano weight deck. And the first two that I get is that there's a series of things occurring health wise with the Seven of Pentacles and Judgment to Donald Trump's health. And I had asked if he was going to have an event while in office, like a big event, not just like a mini stroke, because people can have those and function, you know. They can end up looking a lot like him too. And I'm feeling with the Seven of Pentacles and Judgment that there's a series of little ones leading up to a big one. Okay. And then I get cards that could represent both Elon and Vance, and looking at independent money. Elon and Vance have been talking, from what I understood. So that would make a lot of sense. They'll be chit-chatting around about the time that these series of events are going on. So that would be like now, yeah. And then the second line of my reading changes, and I get three knights, three of the four knights. I get the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Look at that. Look at the energy. Something is coming swiftly, I think, for Trump that he's going to receive. And I do think it is while in office, and he has the Tower and the Knight of Pentacles. To me, that is the body. That is um, the denser energy of those elements that the knights represent. And I see something happening unexpectedly with the tower, because the tower's usually not expected. It's like surprise. um, Everything's in ruins, or something really significant happens and there's damage or injury or death even. So yes, I think that will likely, if things continue as they have, continue to happen. I've been messing with my sound here because I've had people say that they're having trouble hearing me, so I hope this is good. I want people to be able to hear me. Okay. Now I've got the Nine of Wands, and you notice the head is bandaged. This is damage. And he's going to have to, I think, pull back for recuperation. Yes. So I think when he's disappeared, I think he's probably had events that have had little setbacks, but they're leading to a big one, kind of like an earthquake is the feeling here. And in this bigger one coming, he's not going to be able to stay in office. He would have to be medically cared for. He would need care, and he would not be able to carry out any kind of presidential duties. There is just waiting for this to happen. It's on. I feel like it's coming. Yes, and there is going to be a really significant decline in health where he has to leave office. King of Pentacles and fighting. That could be Miller. That would make sense if it were Miller, because I think once Trump's health is in question, they're going to descend into uh, the GOP and the Trump admin, I think, into inter fighting for power. The Chariot, that is progression or movement, and the Ten of Cups, and that's family. There's a shift. And I think, it could be him moving on to ancestors, or that his family that remains here will also be active somehow. No, I think, okay, this is Miller next to Miller, so he's going to have opposition. And he's the one that's been directing a lot of the issues with immigrants and how horribly that they've been treating them. I think this has to do more with trying to deport people, families or something, and he's fighting to try and do this, but I don't think he's going to manage it. I think families may end up staying. Oops. I'm not sure. They might progress over him. Definitely issues with like deportation. I feel like um yeah, overseas with Three of Wands. Miller comes into the picture, and the deportations that would be going on get affected. He's trying to continue them. I see loss. That can denote mourning as well as depression. This is for Trump. And um, I think wishing he would get well or recover completely, and I don't think that he will. Um, Let me just see. There's perhaps too much damage, too much stress with this Nine of Wands. And I just see a new start is really struggling. Really struggling to recover, really struggling to progress in recovering. Decides to walk away, has to walk away, leave office. Very watchful. The news coming out, people are scrutinizing that story. So, yeah, very quickly, I do get that he will have, according to this, if things continue as they have, a bigger event to come that will force him out of office. He's just not going to be able to recover enough to, I think, to play it off, is what it is. Yeah. The Ten of Swords. He has to accept and release and let go because it's a new cycle. Don't forget to look at the sky in the background of the cards. We're shifting cycles here from dark to the light. So we're moving towards the light as Trump um, leaves the planet. And he will go on God's time. Yeah. So, Eight of Wands, that is an acceleration. So we get that there's an acceleration of an ending. And an ending, I think, all the way around Trump, because Trump brings other people down. All these people that have been working for him, I think like Cash Patel and Miller, Vance, all they, I think, are likely to get dragged down, as most people are who are connected to Trump, because it just never seems to, he never seems to be able to put anything positive out there. It's always destruction and burning things to the ground until it comes back on him. And I do think he will have a medical emergency that will end up making him have to leave or step down. And then we're going to have the issues of those within the regime scrambling for power over each other, and I think betraying each other, trying to secure their own rear ends in some way, and power, because it's going to be going. We have a lot of emotion, a lot of opening up of feelings here with the Ace of Cups, with Trump, the Page of Swords. I'm sorry, the King of Swords. He is more the Page of Swords, but he's going to have, I think, in essence, I'm sure, a meltdown over this, but there's also going to be a lot of emotion in the air because he is their cult leader. And here we have the sneaky stuff going on with the Seven of Swords. There's dishonesty. I'm sure they're not going to be entirely initially honest about what is happening with him entirely. I think they're going to try and minimize it, but it's just going to come up with a bunch of different lies. There's a bunch of different uh, confusing stories that they will throw out there on purpose when they don't want you to when they don't want you to pay too much attention, you know. And it is to do with him. There's the emperor. This is the office of the president as well. It's authority. And we have the card of limited thinking, having being stuck, being trapped, or not advancing. I think looking at him, they're going to just see him as not being capable of carrying out that duty. He's not going to be able to fake it till he makes it. And it's going to be too obvious. The Fool and the Four of Wands. There's a big risk and a new shift within, I think, the White House coming with the Four of Wands. I think this is more symbolic of the White House. A big change coming there. And I think Trump is also going to make some foolish choices, and those around him, about all of this. Because what else do they do but mess things up? Page of Cups. This is the petulance, the petty pants. Yeah, and betraying each other with the Three of Swords and childish uh name calling. Eh, it looks like it will descend into chaos and name calling and jockeying for power after this event. So let's just leave that there. If you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I hope that you're having a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow on Sunday's Live. And hopefully the sound was good so people don't have this going in and out business. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.